Good evening to all. Welcome you all to the daily current affairs session brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy for the date 19th as well as 20th July 2023 for the news which came in Indian Express newspaper. Okay, let's discuss the current affairs news. Digitization will curb land linked illegal activities, said Murmu, that is our President of India. She spoke about the digitalization and its impact, positive impact on the land records during the Bhumi Samman program, which was arranged by Ministry of Rural Development. So we will look into the content of the news. President said that a unique land parcel identification number, that is 14-digit identification number, which will be similar to the unique number, that is Aadhaar number, 12-digit Aadhaar number given to a particular individual, would prevent illegal as well as unethical use of land, and it will be helpful in implementing the welfare schemes in relation to which are related to land. Digitization of the land records will also help those who lose their land records during natural disaster like floods. So this was mentioned by our President of India during the Bhumi Samman program arranged by Ministry of Rural Development. So what does the Digital India Land Record Modernization Program mean? They are digital form of land records that shows all boundaries of different parts of land pieces based on their length, area as well as direction. It is the central sector scheme. In 2008, two schemes, that is computerization of land record and strengthening of revenue administration and updating of land record, were merged into modified scheme named Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. It is being implemented by Department of Land Resource, which comes under Ministry of Rural Development. It has three components in it. First is computerization of land record and surveys or resurveys. Third is the computerization of the registration. These are all the three components which encompass the program called Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. So what does this unique land parcel identification number means? It is a project which comes under the Digital Land Record Program, which we have seen in the previous slide. It is the part of Digital Land India Modernization Program. As I said, it is the 14-digit unique number which will be allocated for a parcel of land. It will, since the unique 14-digit number has been allocated to a land parcel, it would uniquely identify every surveyed parcel of land and prevent the land fraud, especially in rural India, where land records are outdated as well as disputed. It aims to compile every details pertaining to different properties across the country. Various types of data relating to the land properties which are currently under the possession of different ministries and department too will be linked with the unique land parcel identification number. It is, the advantage is similar to the Aadhaar advantage. It will reduce the leakage. It could be able to it could easily target the beneficiaries. It could able to avoid the intermediaries, and also it could able to reduce the court disputes. Right now the government is planning to implement a project called linking registration record with the e-code, so that when by linking the registration records and land records with the e-codes, we could able to easily reduce the disputes in relation to the land. So these are all the advantages the unique land parcel identification number holds. So what we needed to study further is, since the news is related to land and its effective usage, we have to know about the right to property in Constitution of India. Second is, we have to know about the Digital India Mission, which is the precursors of the Digital Land Record Program. Third is, we have to know about Aadhaar. which because as I said, this Aadhaar as and unique land parcel identification number are alike, because Aadhaar will be applicable, Aadhaar number will be allocated for person or an individual, and unique land parcel identification number is allocated for a land. Fourth is about e-code program. As I said, right now the government is going to implement a project which aims to link the land registration with the e-codes, so that code will have the digital access to the registration records as well as data simultaneously whenever the registration of the land is taking place, so that whenever the dispute or unethical activities or fraud kind of activities is taking place, means it could easy the data already which is already present with the e-code could able to reduce the or identify the overall the culprits or what kind of wrong has taken place in a particular dispute. Multidimensional poverty index, rural improvements led by Bihar, Madhya Pradesh as well as UP. See, the Niti Aayog recently has released a report called Multidimensional Poverty Index. It has said that there is a decline in the number of multidimensionally poor individuals from 24.85 percentage in 2015-16 to 14.96 percentage in 2019-21. The rural areas of India experienced the fastest decline in the poverty, with the poverty rate decreasing from 32.59 percentage to suddenly to 19.28 percentage from 2015 to 2019-21. But in the case of urban area, it was reduced from 8.5 percentage to 5.6 percentage only. Uttar Pradesh saw the largest decline in the number of households, number of poor households, with 3.43 crore people escaping the multidimensional poverty. But Bihar saw the fastest reduction in multidimensional poverty index value in absolute terms, with the proportion of multidimensional poverty index. That is, in terms of percentage, it was the Bihar that topped the reduction. In terms of the actual values, actual number, the Uttar Pradesh topped the decline in the multidimensional poverty index value. So Bihar reduced from 51.89 percentage to 33.76 percentage in from 2015-16 to 2019-2021. So the proportion of percentage reduction was topped by Bihar, then it is followed by Madhya Pradesh, then only the Uttar Pradesh. So what does this new national multidimensional poverty index is all about? It is the report being released by Niti Aayog. It is the second such report. The report is based upon the data from National Family Health Survey, Health Survey of 2019-21. The multidimensional poverty index seeks to measure the poverty across multiple dimensions, that is health, education and standard of living. Across these three dimensions, there are 12 sub-dimensions are present, which we will see in the next slide. See, these three dimensions are represented by 12 indicators like nutrition, child and adolescent, mortality, maternal health, years of schooling, school attendance, cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, housing, assets and bank accounts. These are the 12 indicators which are subpart of the three overall dimensions, which we have seen in the previous slide. Each of these specific parameters, each of these indicators will be assigned a particular value, which is useful to score the deprivation score. So what does this deprivation score is? Deprivation score is weighted status of all indicators, that is grouping up the all indicators for an individual If it is more than 0.33, then it is considered as multidimensionally poor. This data, the arriving at this kind of data is called as deprivation score. The data which the score which was arrived based upon the sum of the weighted status of the all indicators is called deprivation score, and if the score is more than 0.33 means, then we could say that the person is multidimensionally poor. So this is what the details of the news related to multidimensional poverty index is about. So what does we should know about the other things, that is about the types of poverty. Second is other internationally produced index like human development index, gender development index, inequality adjusted index. Third is we have to know about sustainable development goal. Why these kind of reports have been released is because they wanted to bring open to the public about the status of poverty in the country, as a result of which the public could become aware, and the corresponding state could able to know their own state's poverty state, as a result of which the measures could be taken to overcome the poverty kind of poverty which is present in those states. So which in turn will enable the people to come out from the poverty cycle and make them to live a decent as well as dignified life, which in turn will lead to the sustainable development goals of United Nations. And also we should know about the SDG index, Sustainable Development Goal Index, released by the Niti Aayog. Universal Postal Union to check UPI platform for cross-border remittance. The Universal Postal Union will evaluate UPI for integrating with cross-border remittance using the global postal network. So what does this Universal Postal Union mean? It was established in 1874. It is one of the oldest institutions that is still available or still alive today. And it is headquartered in Swiss capital Bern. It is, as I said, is the one of the oldest international organization. In accurate terms, it is the second oldest international organization. With it has 192 member countries, and UPU, that is Universal Postal Union, is the primary forum for the cooperation between postal department of different countries. Member countries. It helps to ensure a truly universal network of postal sectors with up-to-date products as well as services. Any member country of the United Nations can become a member of UPU, but any non-member country of the United Nations may become a member of UPU provided if it is approved by 2/3 of the member countries of the Universal Postal Union members. See, the Universal Postal Union consists of 4 bodies. First is Congress, supreme authority of it is the supreme authority of the UPU, and it meets every 4 years. And second important body is Council of Administration. The council ensures the continuity of UPU work between the Congress meeting, and it supervises the activity, and it will monitor the implementation of the plan or policy decided by the Congress. Third is Postal Operational Council. The Postal Operations Council is the technical as well as operational mind of the UPU, and it consists of only 48 members who are elected by the Congress, because in Congress every 192 people 192 members country will be member of them. Fourth is International Bureau, fulfilling it will act as a secretariat for UPU, so that it could, as a result of which it will be providing logistical as well as technological support for the UPU bodies, other three bodies, and technical support, logistical support, and also the any kind of data related supports. So what does the global postal network means? It is the network of physical distribution network of post in the world. It provides services like letter post, parcels, as well as mails. This is what the global postal network is about. So they wanted to integrate UPI with this global postal network for cross-border remittance. So what does the UPI means? UPI is India-based fast payment system which facilitates customers to make round-the-clock payment instantaneously using virtual payment address created by the customer. It is the unique identifier assigned to each individual, those who are using UPI. It is a kind of email ID. It will be like, for example, xxxxxx at the particular bank.com. This is it will be similar to the email. So this kind of unique address will be assigned to particular person, so that he may not able to வாட் டு சே, அவருக்கு வந்துட்டு இப்போ வெளியில போயிட்டு ஒரு மர்ச்சன்ட் கிட்ட பணம் அனுப்புறதுக்கும் ஒரு பர்சன் டு பர்சனுக்கு பணம் அனுப்புறதுக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவரோட பேங்க் டீட்டெயிலோ வேற எந்த ஒரு சென்சிட்டிவான இன்ஃபர்மேஷனோ அவர் கொடுக்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் கிடையாது. He could simply give this the virtual payment address, that is the address which will be similar to the ID, email ID, mail ID. So by using the virtual payment address, a customer could able to, a person could able to transact the money from him to other in the sense other person or other merchants, so on and so forth. So as I said, it helps prevents customer to give the sensitive details, banking details to other. UPI supports both, as I said, person to person as well as person to merchant payment, and it also enables a user to send as well as receive money. So what we needed to study further is we have to know about the Indian Post. The Post is introduced in India by Dalhousie. So we have to know about the Dalhousie and his contribution and what are all the major policy he followed while during his tenure in India. And before UPI, introduction of UPI, there was a technology called mobile wallet. What does it mean? And UPI is being implemented by National Payment Corporation of India, a statutory body. So we have to know about NPCI and what are all its other products which it implements right now. அது கூட நம்ம என்னன்றதை பார்க்கணும். So these are the things which we needed to study more than the details as well as the content of the news. Underreported COVID deaths, inflated bills. The Public Accounts Committee of Karnataka suggests post probe by independent agency. From the heading itself, we could be able to say that the Public Accounts Committee has identified some malfunction in the public expenditure by the government of Karnataka. So, Public Accounts Committee of Karnataka has flagged some irregularity in COVID-19 management. What kind of irregularity is underreporting of debt, some mismanagement of funds, and diverting the funds, diverting the supply to private hospitals rather than the government hospitals are some of the main issues being reported by the PAC. So, what does the Public Accounts Committee of Government of for the Public Account So, since the news is related to the Public Account Committee of the state, we have to know about in general what is the Public Account Committee of the Parliament of India itself. So, Public Accounts Committee was introduced in 1921 after its first mention in the Government of India Act 1919, which is called as Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms. Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms. Second is PAC is one of the parliamentary committee that examines the audit report of CAG, that is Comptroller Auditor General Report. Then the three reports submitted by CAG are audit report of appropriate account, audit report of finance account, and audit report of public undertaking. These are all the three reports being submitted by the CAG in Parliament. The Public Accounts Committee duty is to inquire into examine these three reports, and it examines the expenditure not only from the legal perspective. It does not only look into the report from rules as well as regulation point of view, but also from economy, prudence, wisdom, and propriety. These are all the viewpoints the PAC will take whenever it is examining the CAG report. So the sole purpose to do is to bring out the cases of wastage of money, loss of money, and if there is any kind of corruption or extravagancy or inefficiency in the expenditure being made by the government. And it has 22 members. All members are taken from Parliament only. 15 are elected from Lok Sabha and 7 are elected from Rajya Sabha. They are elected based on the principle of proportional representation by means of single transfer vote, and they are elected for a period of 1 year. So this is what the details related to Public Accounts Committee is. So what we needed to study further is we have to know about what are the other committees of Parliament of India, that is Standing Committee as well as the Ad hoc Committee, and also we have to know about the other financial standing committees. The one of the financial standing committee, that is PAC, Public Accounts Committee, we have other detail என்னன்றதை நம்ம பார்த்துட்டோம். The other two financial standing committees are Estimate Committee as well as Committee on Public Undertakings. And also we should know about the Parliament as well as the state legislatures function, how their members are elected and how the rules and regulations of those corresponding parliament or state legislators are formed, and what are the different kind of operations are conducted during the sessions or whenever there is no session, so on and so forth. So India made Seat 295 to start rolling out from 2026 in Vadodara, says Airbus. Oh, very important news in the direction of the crux of the news is right now India is moving on the path of self-reliance, that is in making a product in our own land. So what does the news is about? The fully operational factory will be in place in Vadodara, that is in Gujarat, by November 2024, from where the first Indian made C-295 military transport aircraft will start rolling out from 2026 onward. Till now, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited has the monopoly over manufacturing of aircraft for our defense purpose. So it is going to get break when the Airbus in partnership with the Tata manufactures the C295 military transport aircraft. The C256 aircraft will replace the legacy Avro fleet, which was present earlier. Under the deal, the Airbus will deliver first 16 aircraft in flyaway condition, which is manufactured in their own homeland manufacturing base, which is in Seville, that is in Spain. While the remaining 40 aircraft only will be manufactured in India, that is in Vadodara plant, which is going to be in operation by November 2024. The assembly line in Vadodara will have capacity to produce 12 aircraft per year. Apart from major components like engine, avionics, both of which are sourced from Pratt Whitney and Collin Aerospace, there will be transfer of manufacturing technology will be taking place between the Airbus to TASL, that is Tata Advanced System. As a result of which, TASL could be able to learn the 95% of the aircraft technology, and then they could able to produce those technology in India itself. On the top of it, the making of aircraft will have an offset clause of 30%. So this is what the news is related to. So what does this C295 aircraft mean? The C295 is the transport aircraft of 5 to 10 ton capacity with contemporary technology. The aircraft, with a flight endurance up to 11 hours, can carry out multi-role operations under all weather conditions. It will boost IAF transport duties, as well as it will help to carry the troops from one place to another during the kind of war or emergency kind of situation, and also the material across the country. The aircraft can operate on short and unpaved runways. It does not require a specific kind of runways. It could able to run on the short as well as any kind of unpaved runways. So these are all the things which the India does to ensure that the vision of the Make in India is achieved. Since the indigenization, the self-reliance policy is all wanted us to, why they are taking places is based upon the policy made by Government of India during 2015. The policy is Make in India policy. So what is this Make in India policy is about? Make in India aims to transfer the country into leading global manufacturing as well as investment destination, similar to the China. It is being led by Department for Promotion, Industry as well as Internal Trade under Ministry of Commerce. The initiative is an open invitation to potential investors and partners across the globe to participate in the growth of New India. What is the target they have set is? The target is to increase the manufacturing sector growth to 12 to 14% per annum over the medium term period. And they wanted to increase the share of the manufacturing sector in the country's GDP contribution to 16 to 25 by 2022, but right now this year has been extended. And it also aims to promote this, since Make in India wants us to indigenously produce as well as manufacture in our own country, as a result of which the production will enable us to consume, and it will help us to export the surplus products that are manufactured in India. As a result of which there could be some 100 million additional job could be created. This is the aim of the Make in India program. So what we needed to study further is we wanted to know about what is the buy and make model of defense defense ministries policy means, and also we have to know about the strategic partnership model of defense ministry. Third is we have to know about what does this defense acquisition council is about, why it is created, who are all the members, and what kind of specific role it is responsible for. So these are all the things which we should know ahead of other than the details of the news which you have seen in the previous slides. A cyberspace more secure. The article is related to a cyberspace. As we all know, in fast evolving technology in today's world, our lives, daily lives as well as our professional lives are dependent more on the technologies. So we could not able to live without the technology itself. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நிலைமைக்கு நம்ம வந்துட்டோம் இல்லையா. ஸோ என்னதான் நம்ம தொழில்நுட்பங்கள் அவ்வளோ வேகமாக வளர்ந்தா கூட தொழில்நுட்பத்தோடு சேர்ந்து சில சைபர் கிரிமினல்ஸும் சேர்ந்து வளர்றாங்கன்றது தான் இந்த ஆர்டிக்கலோட கரு. So activities like ransomware, cyber extortion, phishing, hacking is an attractive financial proposition for organized gangs as well as terrorists. They are using these ways to mobilize funding for their illegal activities. So cyberspace is used for trafficking, stalking, bullying, sextortion, which affects the daily life of the common man and also the psychology of the youths as well as adult people who are all well equipped to, who are all the growth engines for our India country or நம்ம கண்ட்ரிக்கு அவங்க தான் growth engine, but because of this kind of negative impacts their day-to-day lives are being affected and particularly their psychology is getting so damaged. So in order to overcome this kind of illegal or illicit activities that is happening in the cyber world, Government of India has came with Digital Data Protection Bill 2022, which aims to regulate how companies as well as organizations use the data inside the country. The bill aims to protect the digital privacy of the individual, especially on matters related to personal data. It categorizes data into three categories. First is critical, second is sensitive, third is general. The sensitive data can only be stored in India, and with the consent only they could able to be processed in the outside country. Only process will be allowed in the outside country, that too with the consent, but the data need to be stored within the India only, within the geographical boundaries of India only. Second is the critical data. This data should also be both stored as well as processed in India only. Then the general data. The general data has no restriction. It could be stored as well as processed anywhere across the world. So this is what the important crux of the data protection bill is about, and also the overall content of the news is about. So what does this the terms which the news has mentioned like phishing, ransomware and hacking mean? Phishing is an attempt by cyber criminal to mobilize the funding which is required for the illegal activities. How they will be mobilizing the funding is they will be sending a genuine like mail to the person, so that a person could be easily அவனை ஈஸியா ஒரு மனுஷனை வந்துட்டு ஒரு உண்மைத்தன்மை இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு மெயில் மாதிரி ஒரு மெயில் அனுப்பிச்சு அவனை வந்து ஈஸியா அந்த ட்ராப்ல விழ வச்சு they could able to mobilize the money, extract the money from him. That is what is called phishing. Second is ransomware. It is a malware designed to deny a user or organization to access a particular file or data in the system by encrypting the files. So when how the key to decrypt the file will not be available to the user, and it could not be the encryption will be in a way that will not be able to be decrypted by the person other than who have designed the encryption in the particular encryption, that is that criminals. So in order to decrypt the file, they will be asking a huge amount of money. So if you are ready to give that money only, they will give the decrypting password. So then only we could able to access our data or file which the system holds. So this kind of extortion of money is called as ransomware. Third is hacking. Hacking is as you all know, there is two types of hacking: ethical as well as unethical hacking. Ethical hacking is fine. It is done for good purpose only. But in the case of illegal hacking, it is done to compromise a person's data in compromise not only a person but the organization data, whether it is present in the system or anywhere in the cyber space. So what we needed to study further is we have to know about the cyber security architecture of India, which we have discussed in the previous daily current affairs session. Please have a look at it. Second, we have to know about the one of the regulatory statutory act for cyber activities, that is IT Act 2000. Third is we have to know about National Cyber Security Policy 2013, which all the three also இந்த மூணுத்தையுமே நம்ம வந்து previous sessionsல discuss பண்ணிருக்கோம். Please go and have a look at it so that you could able to have an idea. Europe battles heat waves and fire. Mercury hits new high in China. From the heading itself, we could able to know that right now the heat waves is going hammer on the head of European people, and right now China is also facing the brunt of the heat waves. So this is what the content of the news is. Since the news revolves around the heat waves, we have to know about what does the heat waves mean. Heat waves are prolonged period of excessively hot weather that can cause adverse impact on human health, environment and economy. The heat wave is considered if the maximum temperature of a station reaches at least 40 degrees Celsius, or 40 degrees Celsius for plains and 30 degrees Celsius for hilly regions. Based on departure from normal heat wave, the departure from normal is based on the departure from normal, the heat wave could be classified as normal heat wave as well as severe heat wave. In case of normal heat wave, means the departure should be between 4.5 degrees Celsius and 6.4 degrees Celsius, and in case of severe heat wave, the departure from normal is greater than 6.4 degrees Celsius. Based on the actual maximum temperature heat wave, the heat wave could be classified as normal heat wave and severe heat wave when actual maximum temperature is greater than or equal to 45 degrees Celsius. It is called as normal heat wave. Whenever the actual maximum temperature is greater than 47 degrees Celsius, it is called as severe heat wave. What are the health impacts of heat wave? First is heat cramps. Swelling, fainting will be accompanied by fever below 39 degrees Celsius, that is 102 degree Fahrenheit. Second is heat exhaustion, fatigue, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps and sweating. Heat stroke, body temperature of 40 degrees Celsius, that is 104 degree Fahrenheit, or prolonged time period could make a person to coma. These are all the health impact of heat waves. What we needed to study further is we have to know about, since the news is related to climate of Europe, we have to know about the Mediterranean climate, which actually has the effect on Europe. Second is we have to know about the European map. Third is we have to know about the IMD, Indian Meteorological Organization or Department, which monitors as well as alert if there is any kind of heat wave in India. Since heat waves are considered as disasters, we have to know about National Disaster Management Authority as well as State Disaster Management Authority also. So let's look into the previous year prelims questions, which was asked in relation to the news which we have seen in the previous slides. First is the Multidimensional Poverty Index developed by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative with UNDP support covers which one of the following: deprivation of education, health, assets and service at the household level, purchasing power parity at the national level, extent of budget deficit and GDP growth at the national level. The third statement is wrong. Similarly, the second statement is also wrong. It only considers three: education, health, and the standard of living, that is assets and services of the household. So the statement one is correct. Second is, in India, it is legally mandatory for which of the following to report cyber security incidents: the service providers, the intermediaries, the corporate bodies. Select which one of the following given code. All the three are legally have legal mandatory for reporting the cyber security incidents. So the answer is D. All 1, 2, 3. Then we will look into the UPSC mains question. First, what is Cyber Dome project? Explain how it can be useful in controlling internet crimes in India. 10 marks. I want those students, those who are watching the current affairs session online, please do comment answer point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board, so that the exchange of view as well as enrichment of view could take place. So we all could grow. We all could grow. So that's. Thank you, students. Please do comment, subscribe, like, share on the Ganesh AS YouTube channel, so that you could be able to receive the daily notification related to the current affairs session as well as the any other important videos which will be brought to you by Ganesh AS Academy. Thank you.